Hello, 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 everybody. And today I would like to welcome you to a special episode of Tax Flow to Cash Flow. I'm here joined with a special guest of mine. Today we're going to talk about financial legacy. So let's jump right in.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's T Dog in the building, man. Tight.
Look at him talking about he T Dog in the building. Well, guys, let me introduce. This is Terrence Bradford. He is my one, two, three, four. He's one of my children, and today we're going to be talking about family legacy. So let me tell you why this episode is very, very important to me. Because first of all, I want to say this episode goes out to two groups of people. Number one being my parents, parents with kids. Now, and then my second group is going to be high income earners. So let me tell you why I chose these two audiences today. Because if you are a parent and you are an entrepreneur like myself, we work really hard to make sure that we're building a lasting legacy for our family. And the one thing that I will not allow to happen, even when I leave this earth, is for me to build this big empire and then my kids not know what to do, what I do, don't know anything about any of this business. So today I wanted to just invite one of my sons in, and I just want to have just a one-on-one conversation with him, just so I can get the mindset of what do the younger generation think about us being parents and leaving legacies and building empires for our family. So Terrence, first of all, I want to say I am just so proud of you and all the accomplishments that you've done. You are great. All of my offsprings are great. By the way, let me just kind of set this up for my family here. I am a mother of five kids. I have actually seven kids. I have two bonuses, which is my oldest daughter, Conchetta, and Chris. Chris is her husband. He's my bonus son. Then I have Jalen. Jalen is my bonus son by marriage. Then I have my son, Teron. Then I have Terrence here. Then we have Tara. So we have a very, very good, I guess you could say, we have a very close knit family. And the best part about this, the whole dynamic of it is each and every one of my kids are entrepreneurs in their own right. I raised these kids right. I got to say that myself, pat myself on the back. But the reason why I wanted to just talk about the family dynamic and leaving a legacy is because, like I mentioned to you before, building an empire is not easy. And the work and the blood, the sweat, the tears that I've put into it, I want my kids to know where is our money? Do we have a trust? Do we have real estate? Where is all of this stuff? So today, Terrence, I want to ask you, and the reason why I chose you is because me and you, we talk a lot. We the people who love the camera. The other kids are behind the scenes. So tell me a little bit about how you feel about when we talk about building an empire and leaving legacy for the family.
Well, one thing I can say is I feel like even though you were focusing on building and leaving for us, I feel like it got to the point where, not saying you were in the wrong, but like where you kind of started later to where now we're focused on, oh, we understand you're trying to build for our legacy, but we're trying to build for our own as well because we are all young adults now. So it's like, yeah, you starting just like we're starting. So it's like your legacy is gonna build into ours for the future generation. So I feel like, other than it feel like it's being later, I still feel like what you're doing kind of helps us as well because we're just starting life for real. We're trying to learn our way, find our path, and you kind of already know. So it's just the fact that like we're helping each other because we're helping you on the new generation things, and you're helping us on what you already know and what you brought into this life already.
I like the way you said that because we are building together, but let me give you some differences of stages and where we are. When I was your age, which is 21, I had to do things a little different than the way you're having to do them. I was already a mother, and the luxury of me not working, at the time, I didn't know that I didn't have to work for someone. I just thought that was the way of life. That's how I was born and raised. But so I felt that it was my duty to prepare to work and to provide for my daughter at the time. I was a single mom. Then fast forward to today, the whole dynamic has changed because I've evolved as a mother. I've evolved as now a business owner. And so you're absolutely right. I am playing what they call, I guess you could say, catch up, because I want to make sure that the things that I did not prepare for early on in life, if I was to leave this earth today, guess what? You guys would be okay. Even though I did get a late start, but it's only uphill from here because we've talked about the type of lifestyle we like to live. And just speaking of lifestyle, let me ask you this, and I know you're going to laugh when I say this. It wasn't one of our first vacations, but it was one of the ones that I think that goes down in the book as one of our best vacations. You're shaking, you know what I'm talking about. How did it feel for us to travel to Miami,
Already knew it.
stay a whole week in a nice, beautiful Airbnb? You were able to take one of your best friends since you were little, so did your siblings. They were able to take friends, go out on a yacht, stay the entire day. You guys got on jet skis. Let's talk a little bit about the feeling that type of vacation brings.
So that was definitely a good feeling. It was like it showed me basically the life I wanted to live for real. Because we always travel and we always were going places, and it was like I like being on the plane, I like being on the go, I like being not just in the same area. But when you actually get to live the luxury lifestyle and you actually get to sit here and be like, dang, I'm on a yacht at 17. It's like everybody at school right now wondering where I'm at. I never even been on a plane before. I'm in Miami on a yacht. We on jet skis. We out in a big old B&B, and bro, it's like that lifestyle was different. And we over here talking to older women, and it's like they looking at us like, oh, how old are you? We over here lying, talking like 21 and junk. And it's like, I'm 21 now, and it's still looking back at it. It's like that was just something that's like always gonna be memorable. It's never gonna forget out my brain because it's just like I said, it's the lifestyle I want to live, and it's like not trying to be all flashy and not trying to be all. It's just the fact that it was vacation. We had fun, we relaxed, and it wasn't like I was flexing anything. I wasn't out there saying it was my yacht, my jet ski. I was not there saying I got all this and that. It's like we just took videos and stuff to remember it. So it was just like the lifestyle I want to live. It's not like I said, not try to like flex on anybody, but just to live the life that I always wanted to live.
So you know what? It did me great pleasure to work as hard as I did to get to that point so we could start those types of vacations. So now the reason I wanted to bring that up is because leaving a legacy, building an empire, it does afford us a certain type of lifestyle. It changes the way that we vacation now. So, but my whole point of the whole thing is in order for us to maintain this lifestyle, we got to get everything in order. And while it's in order, I don't want to, none of us, tomorrow is not promised. Let's say that. And nobody, like I love the life I live, but I don't know if I'll wake up tomorrow. I want to, but if I don't, guess what? I'll say, God allowed me to live a good life, raise my kids a certain way. But the purpose of this whole video today is so we could talk about what does it look like for generations to come. Now, I know he gave his his feeling on how it is to vacation like that. Now that is what I'm setting up. And when I say me, I am a married woman who have a husband that's right by my side each and every day. So we are building a legacy. I don't want it to sound like we're doing this on our own. But my husband and I, we are making sure that leaving a legacy, what does that really truly mean? So having grandkids and having kids is the reason for why I'm doing this. So I want to go back a little bit and tell a little story about how I was when I grew up. I'm a grandmother's girl. My grandmother and I were really, really close before she left this earth. And I would go to work with her all the time. And she was a housekeeper. She would clean houses, huge homes. And I was a little girl, 6 years old, and I saw the type of home she would clean, and I would always just look around and dream and say, that's the kind of house I'm gonna live in. And I would have these big dreams and aspirations. But you know, one thing that my grandmother left, that's a tradition. Although it looks like it was in reverse, she was the actual person cleaning the house, but she gave me the opportunity to be in that environment, to see that people are living like this. So it never left my mind. It never left me at all, saying that I wanted to live in these types of homes and all that. So as a little girl, that's what I strive for. So fast forward to the day, my grandmother, when she left this earth, she didn't leave us with the monetary goods. Now the Bible tells us that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. And that has been one of the scriptures, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. Don't get me all your Bible quoters out there. Don't say she didn't say the comma and she didn't pause and say the thou. That is basically the actual scripture that I live by today. And back to leaving the legacy, I wanted to ask this question for you, Terrence. Now I explained to you how I grew up and the things that I saw. Our experiences were the same, meaning that that's how you want to continue to vacation throughout your life and elevate it. That was just a start. And when I was a little girl, I saw the type of house that I would want to live in and to own multiple homes like that. So the environment is what I'm speaking on now. So I want to talk about the reason why I work the way I do. So now that we're setting up all of these businesses, we're talking about doing real estate together as a family. We're talking about a family compound. These are things that's going to bring generational wealth to our family. And as we're in the midst of planning it right now, what is your mindset on how is it wrapped around keeping that legacy going?
So, well, obviously it starts with you and informing us on like you said, what you do and how we could maintain what you have. But from my standpoint, I feel like to keep the legacy going is not only keeping your legacy going, but starting our own, like putting into the pot of what you already started, and just make sure that like we teach our kids and our kids teach their kids, so it can just keep going on what to do, what to have, like how to maintain it, and just basically going on from there. It's like the domino effect. When one goes into play, it all just falls right into place. So like you can't take one domino out and expect it to keep flowing, because like all it takes is one generation to mess it up for the whole thing to just go out of place. So as long as you keep it going, and at least someone keeps the generation going, the generational wealth going, then I feel like it's always going to be the legacy. As long as you have that one.
I totally agree. Now I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. I'm gonna go controversial a little bit. And I know we talked about this. One of the great basketball players, LeBron James. A lot of talk has been in the media about his son coming into the NBA playing on the Lakers team, and a lot of people say, spectators, people talking, saying he wasn't ready, and you know how it was, and we had a talk about that. Now I'm speaking from a parent's perspective, so I'm gonna say what I've told you, and I want you to just tell me what you think. So in that situation, a lot of people had negative things to say, that he shouldn't have been there, he wasn't ready, and all of that. My perspective on that is, there's no way that I would want you to start from the bottom up, where I've already started. I've already been down there. I'm here now. So now it's time for you to come in alongside me, teaching you the legacy. And I want you to start right here. So the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people were saying that they felt like he wasn't ready to get in there in the NBA because of his dad. His dad paved the way from him. And that's what parents do. Give me your thoughts on, I know it's controversial. We're really not talking about the actual
Situation,
controversial
yeah.
situation. We're really talking about leaving legacy
Hmm.
and bringing your kids in on the level where you are and giving them a start on, well, giving them a good start without them having to start from the bottom up. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So, do you believe when they say, what is the saying? A student is only as good as his teacher.
Okay, a student is only as good as, well, let's say it again.
A
A
student
student
is
is
only
only,
as good as his teacher.
yeah, I would say that.
So, if you have a bad teacher, then the student like doesn't know nothing but bad. It's basically saying like, if I were a teacher for a class and I come in like I don't care or I don't know what I'm doing or any of that, then the kids are gonna reflect onto that. So it's basically like, well, the LeBron situation. He's coming in, okay. He, even though he's the greatest, his son comes in, he has to match that. So if he doesn't match that, then it's like you can't really know what to expect from that. Like I understand, like LeBron's the greatest player, and I agree, but I disagree with it because at the end of the day, he got sent back down to the G League for a reason. I mean, you can't expect to average 4 points in college and then just go straight there when there's more people averaging more than that. And I understand who your dad is, but it's like you got to reflect what your teacher showed you.
Okay.
You can't expect to just do whatever you want because of who your dad is. Like you can't expect to like get that treatment. Like I understand to some extent, yes. Oh, this is LeBron's son. I'm gonna have him on the team, blah blah. But if he's not ready, I'm not just cause he made the team. I'm not gonna put him out there just because. So it's like it's certain extents to it. Like I don't feel like he should have gotten like the glory treatment. Like I understand, like I said, I still feel like he should have been on the team. I still feel like he should have went to practice, but they shouldn't have put him out there until they felt like he was ready in practice.
Okay.
Maybe he was showing something different at practice. Maybe he was doing something that we don't see behind the media. But as of the games of how it went, I feel like he still should have had some type of levels to it. Like everybody should have levels. Like even though LeBron's here and Bronny probably came in here, that he still has to have some type of like requirement to meet before he could just jump out there like that. I feel like it wasn't fair for the people who've been putting their all into it. And like, cause basically what it's saying is he took somebody's spot who deserved it, in which he didn't. So it was given handed to you, just like with a regular job. If you have a store director who comes in and doesn't know anything about the job, all he's gonna do is put it all into you because he wants you to. How are you at the top of the top and you don't know anything, but you expect us to know all this stuff? So it's like we supposed to learn our own when you don't even know. So that's all I feel about it. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm still not mad about it because at the end of the day, it's LeBron. But at the same time, I feel like it's some type of requirement that's supposed to be met before just throwing them out there. Because then it makes it the media, everything looks bad on Bronny. Now it's putting the pressure on him. Because like he didn't do anything wrong. He went out there and played his hardest. I mean, it's just the fact that like I just feel like it should have been more structure to it.
Okay, I'm so glad we're having this conversation. So now, let's talk about us in that situation. Even though you are a basketball player, but not me.
Yeah.
I am great, like LeBron. So I mean, we can kind of, we can put ourselves in that same situation. But my point is, so now that we're talking about that, so do you feel you might not be ready? But what if I feel that you're ready, and I put you out there and trust you with our family wealth? Is that kind of the same thing? And so would you do your best?
Yeah, of course. Like I feel like it's the same situation as in like you have done all this stuff and you have paid this way of like knowing all the things that you, like I said, like you've been doing this for 21 years and you've been having all the knowledge, and like I don't know anything about what you do, but if you was to put trust into me and put all of that onto me, of course the pressure's gonna be real, and of course I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna provide. But who's to say how good or like poor I will perform? I mean, that's what I say. It's like that's why I said it's not Bronny's fault. It's not. It's really the media. And the same thing would happen if it was me and you. Like, it's not all on me if I try my best, but all the banks and stuff gonna coming at me like,
And you squander all these
like,
millions of dollars.
Like, how you do all that whenever you know getting well your mom paid this whole way and she been keeping up with this for the past however long, and it's like you come in and mess it up in a year or two, and it's like, I'm not saying I'm gonna do that.
I know what
Lord
you're saying.
forbid, but just saying that like that's the same situation. Like even if I went in trying my best, that doesn't show that like how good or how poor I'm gonna perform. It's just gonna show that I did what I could and I knew from what I knew. I just did all I could.
Well, you know what? I'm glad we're having this conversation. So now let's talk a little bit about before in our closing. The purpose of this is what I do want you to know is although you are an entrepreneur and I spoke about all of your siblings being entrepreneurs, there's one thing that I did not do properly. I gave you guys the knowledge on, I wanted you to get out there to see what it is you wanted to do first. I didn't want you to say, oh, I want to play basketball. You loved it, you did it. Then you said, Mom, it's more to life than basketball. I want to do this. Go do it. Then you say, hey, I did that. Guess what? It's something else I want to do. That's what I want you guys to do. But now it gets to a point to where, okay, so now we got to narrow this thing down. One of the things I did not do for the kids is I did not give them a proper structure to their business. Like, let's talk about TJ. My son, when he was in 10th grade, he started a shirt business. He was a track star in high school. He ran track. He made all of his shirts, our shirts, his headbands. He would sell shirts and all that good stuff. He was good at it, but what I did not do was I supported him, but I did not sit him down and say, son, let's get you structured in a certain way. By him being a minor, I would have had to be the face, or not necessarily the face, behind the scenes. I would have had to structure it the right way. I did not do that. So those are some of the mistakes that parents make when their kids are ambitious like mine. They don't give them the proper foundation. So now fast forward to their adult years, they're still kind of operating in a sense of, let me figure this out. So now, one of the things I want to share with you parents is, if your kids are entrepreneurs, when I say kids, young adults, make sure that they're properly structured in a business, because now they're over 21. And number two, make sure they have a way to separate personal money and business money, because Terrence does really well training in basketball. He also works another job. I want him to know the difference between a personal bank account and a business bank account. And he needs to track each and every, all the income and transactions for both, and do not commingle the funds. So those are the top two things I want parents to realize, is that when you have adult kids, it's our responsibility to either put them on the right path, set the right foundation, or that brings me to my third point is make sure you have a tax strategist on your team. Hire someone like myself who can guide you through how to set up financial structures, how to start building a legacy to leave, to start building wealth to leave a legacy for your loved one. Today has been a very good episode. Terrence, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Now, all the other kids, you know we're going to have some. We got one behind the camera. He's doing a very awesome job. He's going to edit this up for us really good. And so all I'm saying is that for those of you parents, high income earners, start setting your legacy up, building your empire, but make sure that your children know what's going on, because without them knowing, we don't want to build this legacy and then the next thing you know that it's not built on a good foundation and it comes tumbling down. I know this is going to be crazy to say, but I will be controlling this empire from the grave. So I don't know what that control is still there, but these are the type of things that I teach families and entrepreneurs how to do. how to set your legacy up, how to build your empire, and how to protect your assets. Now, until next time, guys, don't forget, I am so pleased to announce that this podcast is doing really well. So tune in for more talks like this, and tax flow to cash flow is where it's at. Now, I want you to stay tax savvy and be ready for the next episode.